Hello, darling. This is River Roaring, celebrating the luminous life force in us all. Hello, darling. I'm River Roaring, and this episode is EMF Practical Living with special guest Dr. Loredo Ritter, a series. So this is the first in our series of interviews because Dr. Loredo Ritter is very unique and he has a lot of great information for us. So welcome. And I love the issue of man-made EMFs because we have EMF all around us, electromagnetic frequency. It's a natural part of the universe. It's an important part of the universe. But something really different happens when man-made EMFs come into the picture. So Dr. Loredo Ritter, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate so much the invitation.
It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Will you share with the audience a little bit about your background and how you came into this issue? I knew you grew up in Mexico City.
I did.
Yeah.
I was born in Mexico City, and I had the chance, the opportunity to become a medical doctor. So I went to med school for 7 years. I had the opportunity to study one specialty, which was pediatrics. And once that I was already there in the pediatric world, I decided to study pediatric neurology. So I have one specialty and one subspecialty, which is neurology.
So pediatric neurology.
Exactly.
So you were practicing for a while with children and their brain issues.
Exactly.
And what happened next?
The brain issues that I had the most in my patients, it turns out that it was epilepsy and autism. We started to understand what autism was. It's a malfunction of the electric system of the brain. Well, it turns out that I studied a little bit more after that. I started finding out that all my patients, and not just my patients, they have something in common. No matter what disease they had, like I mentioned, some of them neurodegenerative diseases, some epilepsy, etc., a lot of variety, it turns out that they have a sleeping issues.
Okay.
And that's how I started getting into this world, because sleeping, it was one of the problems that chronic illness patients have, and I needed to understand. So my third specialty is it's sleep medicine.
Sleep medicine. What happened next for you?
Well, that's exactly when my world changed completely. It turns out that being a pediatric neurologist, one of the studies that I use so much, and this is because the way that they taught medicine for me, my teachers in that area and that time, they insist so much that we as a neurologist, we need to understand the electric system of the brain.
Beautiful.
And I started learning about that since the very beginning of my residency. And I made it as a practice, as an everyday thing. I needed to understand what happened with my patients, so they came to my office. I spent 2 hours with the first-time patient.
That's incredible.
The reason why I spend 2 hours with every first-time patient, it's not because I was really good. It's because I understood that the mom or the parents, they know so much about their kids. Mm-hmm. If I have the ability to extract information from them, I will know what is the problem with that kid.
Beautiful.
And that's how I did it. So
beautiful.
2 hours with the first time patient and having an electroencephalogram. Okay. Of course, during that time, I explored the patient. I tried to gather as much information as I could because I was really young at that time.
Love it.
I try to compensate my youth in experience.
Beautiful.
With a little bit more time and try to gather as much information.
Beautiful.
It turns out that it worked really good. Actually, I got a lot of patients like that because patients start saying, hey, go with this guy because he will give you the time to learn exactly what is the problem.
It's very unique in today's world for doctors, right?
Yeah. Then I did some other thing in there. I told my patients, I'm not gonna prescribe absolutely anything until I know what is the diagnosis. And actually that was good too.
Wow. Also unique.
Yeah, because patients they like. He won't prescribe just by prescribing. So that's how I started my life in there.
Nice.
And it turns out that I start paying a lot of attention on the electric system. So much that we as medical doctors, and I'm going to say now, kind of like a little critique for the medical field, we need to understand perfectly well everything that happens with our patients. Mm-hmm. And if we don't know, we need to study more. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did. Because there was a lot of things that I didn't know when I did electroencephalograms.
Okay.
Electroencephalograms is a study, the name says it all. It's electricity from the brain, encephalo means brain.
Oh.
So
electroencephalogram.
Electroencephalogram. Gram means like writing.
Yes.
So it's something that is plasmated in the paper from the brain and from the point of view of electricity.
Beautiful.
The electricity that the brain produces. Because we didn't know that much, and I'm going to say we as a medical field, we didn't know that much, I had to study physics.
Okay.
So
did you go back to school?
I did.
Okay.
I studied online. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter if it's online.
Yeah.
I studied 4 years under Leon Susskind in Stanford University.
Beautiful.
In Yale University.
Beautiful.
Ramamurthy Shankar. Sorry.
Basically Ivy League physics studies here next for you.
It was undergraduate physics, but I'm already a medical doctor at that time. I just need to understand the principles of electromagnetic fields, electricity.
Beautiful.
To complement in the knowledge that I had from biology. So I studied 3 specialties in the medical field and complemented with physics, because here's what medical doctors need to do. There's no excuse that there's something that we don't know about our patients. We need to understand the whole environment that our patients are developing.
I agree with you. There's no excuse.
There's no excuse.
For stopping short of that and having a 5-minute meeting and starting to prescribe.
Exactly.
Okay, continue.
And just because the field is going that way, just because, oh no, they don't teach you that in med school, well, you know what? There's books in there. And if you need to understand, and I'm going to say, every medical doctor should do.
I couldn't agree more, my darling.
Bottom line, I studied physics because I understood. Let me tell you one patient that I have. I was born 1970s, and by the time that I start practicing medicine is when we have is the time when we start having wireless devices.
Okay.
Because let's remember, just because young people right now think that they exist from forever, no,
just maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah, around like that.
Yeah.
So I grew up without a cell phone.
Me too, thank God. Oh, I'm
we
so
have
happy.
Landlines and
I loved running outside with my friends.
We didn't have...
Go knock on their door if we wanted to
We play outside.
Yeah, we had to go knock and ask them.
Exactly, we had to. It turns out that I start practicing medicine when we start having that beginnings.
Yeah, nice.
And I have some patients, so many patients, they start telling me, my kid is getting worse whenever they play. That time,
the
first one of the first wireless devices.
Game. Yep.
Because I already have patients that has a damage in the electric system of the brain.
Yeah.
They start getting worse. So the parents, they start telling me, my kid is getting worse when this happened. I guess that I heard it so many times that one day it clicked. And yeah, I know why you're gonna tell me that the kids can get worse whenever this happens. So I start paying attention a little bit more on the electroencephalograms.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever I find out is that there was some, in one particular patient, it was very clear, there were some electric waves that didn't belong to the brain of my patient.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't belong to the brain of my patient, where it's coming from
mm-hmm.
and what it is. We're talking about around like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything. I keep practicing medicine, but I have that in my mind. In the back of my mind, it was that little situation. And that's when I decide to read different things from the papers of biology.
Mm-hmm. To branch out, try to find the answers. What is that?
And you know what? I find out that there was an area that I didn't know that existed. Biophysics.
Okay.
Biophysics is a scientific realm of the scientific world that tried to merge physics
biology
and
physics in that realm.
And it turns out that they did describe something like that.
Okay.
And just digging a little bit deeper, I start finding out that it turns out that the way that cell phones work, I didn't know. It is sad that I was already a doctor. Patients came to my office, they paid me money so I can solve problems, and I didn't know simple things that now we know.
Now you know most other doctors are still sitting without the knowledge, but at least you kept moving, kept going, kept asking what happened next for you.
And as simple things, when I have an emergency with my patients, they used to page me.
I remember those.
I have those pagers.
Sure.
It turns out that those pagers work with electromagnetic fields.
Yeah.
There's an antenna somewhere sending a signal that is electrical in nature, travels through the air and reaches wherever I'm standing.
Yes.
Which means that is the room that I'm in is getting filled with all those waves.
Right.
I didn't know that. And it turns out that I start putting two and two together. If I see electroencephalograms with electric waves that doesn't belong to the brain of my patient, and we have electric fields around, well, I mean, I'm just giving a summary right now. It took me forever to find out that. But whatever I find out is that something that is really sad. 1953, the damage of EMF to the biological matter, it was already described. Sadly, it was described in a very complicated language.
Was it in German?
No, it was in English.
Okay,
but
okay.
It was
I
in
thought
English.
Germans had done some early research.
It was a German, but they already published in English.
Gotcha.
The thing is that they publish with equations.
Yeah.
Everything has to be demonstrated for them in equations. And one thing that we as medical doctors, as most people in the professional world, there is not physics or engineering, we're blind and we're ignorant to whatever physics says, those equations says. But that is not an excuse. So as a medical doctor, I had to learn what did those equations say, because they were telling me since 1953, papers in there, the papers available for every medical doctor in the world right now.
Oh my goodness.
EMFs damage biological matter.
This is why I love you. I love you because because you're so curious and you have so much integrity that you could have sat there and made plenty of a living and a career doing that one thing that you were trained in, but no. And you knew there was more to be found, and you keep looking.
To be honest, I didn't do it purposely. It started as a little thing, and eventually I needed time. Being a medical doctor, I was practicing in Mexico City. In Mexico City, we do have a private medicine. Private medicine means that you pay me to be your doctor. I went to med school for so many years, so you pay me a lot more, depending of how many patients I have and how much training do I have. But I'm your doctor. It turns out that you're a slave, right? Because if a patient calls you at 3 a.m, you have to answer.
Oh,
it's
you
not like
really
here.
get assigned to people, and you really are their doctor and advisor.
Because they pay you directly.
Yeah, not without the insurances.
Yeah, no.
I see what you mean.
Exactly. So
I do.
I
was a lawyer, so I know what you mean.
Exactly.
Okay.
It turns out that I had a lot of patients. When I finished my practice, I quit my practice. I have 2,000 active patients.
Hello. Wow.
So I was busy. But it turns out that I need time. I told my wife, hey, I need 6 months with nobody talking to me. I need to get into my room and study since the moment that I wake up to the moment that I go to bed, to study, because it was eating me alive. Not knowing and to finding out that all the mistakes that we have, that we did as medical doctors, is because we ignore the electric system of the human body.
Okay. This segues us. So I want to get a big picture, and I wish you and I had hours and hours, and we do. We're not going to do it today, but we're going to come back because there's so many different beautiful areas to go into. But right now I want to look at EMF, and very quickly I want the audience to get a cosmic picture of Earth, the cosmos, and how EMFs work in the cosmic realm, the biggest picture. Will you share with us, how does Earth have her own EMFs? Does the cosmos have and an EMF is electromagnetic frequency.
Fields.
Electromagnetic field.
Fields,
Electromagnetic field. And there are natural ones and there are man-made ones.
Exactly.
So will you explain nature's EMF, electromagnetic fields, to us in the cosmic realm?
Actually, the division is even more interesting because it's energy.
Okay.
Basically,
beautiful.
Electromagnetic fields, whatever they carry is energy.
Beautiful.
Energy as that equation, E equals and whatever it is.
Okay.
And we do have different sources. We have nuclear energy, nuclear radiation. Actually, the real name of EMFs should be electromagnetic radiation.
Okay, EMR.
EMR, that should be, people know as EMFs. Mm-hmm. Both are okay, but the correct name is radiation. Why is the radiation the real name? Because it emits in a three-dimensional way.
Okay.
You have one source. It could be, let's put them, let's compare both. If it's a nuclear, the source would be part of that atom that it breaks, and it will travel through the air in a sphere way, in a three-dimensional way. The same thing happened with the man-made electromagnetic fields that we're talking about. And here, if we have one antenna, it will transmit in a three-dimensional way.
Beautiful.
I hope the audience doesn't feel that I'm going to use a lot of terminology that is in physics, but it would be 4 pi epsilon 0.
Okay. For all of the guys who are listening who know what that means, that's awesome.
But sometimes whatever I want is not to get, this is over my head.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But
tell us in English.
Behind.
Yeah, there's
science.
Everything you're talking about is both biological and physics.
Yeah.
And it's
but we're going to talk in a very simple way.
Okay, darling, go ahead. What is it? What's the simple version?
So it turns out that EMFs is something that carries energy. In this case, is going to be, if we compare the two that we were comparing, nuclear and non-nuclear radiation,
Okay.
is ionizing nuclear radiation, non-ionizing non-nuclear radiation. They're going to carry energy, but in a different ratio. And let me just say this, so we can understand what is one and what is the other one. Nuclear radiation is so devastating for the human body that if I stand up right now in a nuclear reactor, I'm going to die.
Okay.
If I stand up in there for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because I'm going to absorb so much in very little amount of time
Okay.
that it's going to devastate my body. It's going to kill me around in 1 year.
Okay.
I'm not going to die right away. But I'm going to die from so many different things. Different type of cancers.
Because a lot of systems in your body are going to shut down.
Exactly.
It's not just one system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So many, I'm going to absorb everywhere.
And all the systems are hurting. They can't
Yeah.
function. They can't do what they need to.
And it's so much in so little amount of time.
Okay.
Because the energy that it carries is humongous. Well, if I'm going to die, etc. The same energy that we're talking with the nuclear radiation is being carried by EMFs, man-made EMFs, except that the energy is way lower.
Okay.
Whatever I need, the exposure that I need in nuclear radiation, 10 minutes, I'm going to need it 20 years
Okay.
on the other side.
Okay.
Which is actually worse for us because it doesn't show you symptoms right away.
We can't even tell it's happening.
Exactly.
It's like being the frog in the water as it starts to boil
Exactly.
slowly. And how long has it been since all this stuff came in here?
Exactly.
About 20 years.
About 20 years.
So here we are.
My 20 years start counting 20 years ago
Yeah.
or maybe before.
Pretty much, we're there.
So that is the difference between those two.
Okay, thank you.
The Earth is amazing. And the Earth, in my opinion, is an ecosystem that sustains life.
Yes, of course.
In order to sustain life, it requires nuclear radiation.
Okay.
That's what it powers the wind, etc.
Okay.
But the Earth, alive. The Earth is alive. Again, as a medical doctor, I had to study physics in this area. Actually, I study heliophysics, which is radiation from the sun.
Okay, heliophysics.
And this is the reason why, so I can explain this area. Quantum mechanics and normal Newtonian physics. That's
Okay.
the three main areas that I study. Heliophysics, it's radiation coming from the cosmos, but mostly from the sun.
That's the closest one, but
It's the closest,
coming
exactly.
from everything.
If we are exposed to the plasma, the radiation from the sun, the Earth will be devoid of life.
Right.
But
We need protection from that to
the
live.
protection is amazing because in the core of the Earth we have uranium.
So the core is uranium.
It's uranium. We thought it was iron.
I
and
had
if
heard
you
it was
remember,
iron.
We went to school in every country in the world
Yeah.
and they taught us it was
Crystal
iron.
iron core. Yeah.
Well, it turns out that it was a scientist from Texas, the one that published the biggest papers in there.
Okay.
And it turns out that it's uranium.
All right.
Uranium actually explains why we have an Earth magnetic field.
Okay.
That magnetic field, which stretches far from the crest of the Earth, produces the Van Allen rings.
Okay.
And these Van Allen rings, which are invisible,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever they do is they capture the energy. In this case, in electron volts, that's how we measure
Yes.
it. It captured them where they try to penetrate in the Earth,
Yeah.
and they would be devastating for us. So they've been captured in there. It turns out that whenever the sun put more flares in the air,
Yeah.
it's so dynamic that the Earth produces more Van Allen rings.
Oh my God.
We thought it was 2, and it turns out that it can be 3 We don't know if it can be 4, but the Earth will manage whatever it comes through the Earth.
That is so beautiful. I want to see if I can summarize that, and you let me know if I'm hearing you. What I hear you saying is the sun and all other stars, but the sun is ours that's closest, putting out plasma rays, and they would kill life if they just hit us with nothing in between. We can't have that. But no, nature's smarter than that. We have Gaia, Mother Earth, who has a uranium core, it turns out. And that uranium core of Mother Earth helps put out magnetic fields, which some people I think call different things like ley lines and all the different earth energy grids, and maybe even Gaia's chakra system. That's for another show. But Earth core putting out magnetic field through the entire Earth, through the crust, and coming out way outside of Earth. And then there are Van Allen rings.
Exactly.
Van Allen rings, which is really spheres.
Exactly.
Around outside of the Earth.
Exactly.
So we don't need a golden dome Trump built. We already have the Earth Van Allen rings that are naturally outside of our Earth, protecting us from sun's plasma. And whenever the sun plasma has flares,
force field.
It's a force field. It's so beautiful. And so whenever sun plasma flares up and has extra, that's not a problem either, because Gaia reacts. And Mother Earth puts out an extra Van Allen ring if we need it, or she moderates and adjusts her rings so we can live.
Exactly.
So there's a beautiful symbiosis here, cosmically.
And it doesn't stay just in the air. It turns out that actually powers the Earth as well. So jet streams.
Okay.
Jet streams don't happen just because.
Okay.
Is that part of the energy that I got captured by the Van Allen rings? They pass through some, and they're the power for the jet streams.
So when we have even storms, lightning storms, the wind, the big jet stream gusts of wind, these are all sort of like reactions and interplay with the Van Allen rings and this entire electrical system.
The northern lights as well.
The northern lights.
When we have electric storms is that some in a lower part of the stratosphere now, we have energy capture in there. When we have so much energy capture in there, you need to ground. So lightning storms is actually getting back the energy that is stored in there.
To Mother Earth. A lightning bolt that hits Mother Earth is a balancing tool for our electrical system.
Exactly.
And so really so much of our weather also, especially big weather events and things, are part of this beautiful natural electrical magnetic balancing system between Earth and cosmos.
That is the way this should be.
Right? So now, this is all before 20 years ago, or before humans start their tricks.
When humans start doing their things.
Very smart things together. Now, we just have a few more minutes in this episode, so I think we're going to be able to describe our cosmic picture, and then I'm going to give some teasers for what we're going to do next for the audience.
Let me just say where the humans come in here. Imagine now we have a lot of power plants.
Okay.
And we have a lot of cell phone antennas.
Yes.
And satellites and etc.
I can imagine that.
So many things that now are putting man-made electromagnetic fields inside of those Van Allen rings.
In the Van Allen rings. Now we're pumping up in the electric field.
The Earth it wasn't accounting for us to doing that.
Mother Gaia can't always balance that out. She didn't know it was going to happen.
Exactly. So I don't know if these weather disturbances are unique just because we're putting EMFs in here, or is a combination of things that we as humans are doing. But we shouldn't discard them, right?
So we could possibly be loading up our man-made electromagnetic fields or our electromagnetic radiation with new satellites, new phones, new communication devices, new 5G, new AI centers, that need 1 billion tons of electricity, and all this new stuff, Teslas. And we actually could be causing cataclysmic weather events just from our ignorance around electromagnetic radiation that we're creating ourselves.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I cannot say this the only, but we need to account for that.
We need to pay attention to it also, if we care.
And it goes now to the second topic,
now where
probably, that we do need to be aware. Just because we don't know, it doesn't give us excuse. We live in this century now.
Yeah.
We live in these times.
It's 2025. Wake up.
We need to understand.
Wake up.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
One of the other
We're
problems,
already doing it. As humans, I would love it if someday we decide we're going to understand things before we do them, but we're not there yet, so we're just do them first.
We're going backwards.
We're not that way yet, so
Exactly.
yeah. We don't have a lot more time. How would you like to? How would you like to leave our audience with a message?
I would love now with a little
this
teaser.
is the first one in our series.
Let's talk about what we have to do.
Yeah.
One thing that I do now is I measure.
Yeah.
And I see so many people getting confused. Unfortunately, measuring EMF should be doing it in a professional way.
Okay, I want to segue us.
Yeah.
I absolutely love you. You know, we met 4 years ago, and
Yes.
I have been learning about electromagnetic fields and radiation for at least the 20 years that we've been having it out. I've been doing all my own research. Some of my audience knows I am 57. In my adult life, I have never consulted a Western medical physician ever for their advice, nor do I ever plan to, because I do my own research, and I have been vegetarian for it's like 35 plus years, and that's when I started doing the research 35 years ago.
Okay.
And I haven't stopped. So I think I know more than almost any other doctor, and
Sadly.
I only use natural remedies and what have you. So I'm leading up to, I had heard a lot of EMF experts before I came across you.
Okay.
But when I heard you, I knew you were different. So I've been listening to lots of experts, lots of advice, but I knew you had these other pieces, the medical, the physics, this whole perspective, and that you don't stop to researching things when we don't know yet.
Exactly.
And so you came over to my home in Temple 4 years ago, and you brought suitcases and suitcases of meters.
Yes.
Suitcases and suitcases of meters. And then you measured my entire home in a bunch of different levels and ways that I cannot wait to tell our audience about.
Okay.
And then I have in my home set up dirty electricity filters on a lot of the outlets. Number one, I reduced a lot of the emissions in my own home.
Yes.
And I understood from you how to do that. So I reduced a lot. I have 2 or 3 rooms where there's nothing plugged in at all. And then my bedroom, thanks to you, is an actual Faraday cage.
Yes.
So you came in and we painted 3 layers of different kinds of metallic paint
Yes.
on the walls in certain ways. And then afterwards you put a very pretty color back on.
And the most important
But most
thing,
importantly, all of that all of the metallic paints and what have you that conduct the electricity are all channeled into a medical grade grounding system with pure copper rods that go down into Mother Earth, so that the bedroom is a capture and grounding. Capture and grounding. This is going to be a key phrase for our next episode.
Yeah. Capture
and grounding. So I am delighted to have been sleeping inside of a cleaner place for 4 years, getting the beautiful healing of sleeping, unlike so many other people, because they can't, because they're being pummeled by this other stuff. So the next series, the next session that we get together, we're going to talk about practical ways you can understand EMR or EMF in your own home, in your own life. We're going to go into 5 numbers that everyone should know.
Yeah.
We're going to go into why it is useless to buy some of these cheap electric meters.
Yeah.
Even though it's great intentions, and I've almost bought one, but it's just, we're going to talk about the real meters and the real measuring.
The wrong idea.
It's the wrong idea, and a lot of my friends have them. This is going to be an important episode. And then we're also going to talk about all of these little stones and necklaces and bracelets and everything like that, which I think are very pretty, but they have another story behind them. So we have so many things, and the one I can hardly wait to talk about in our next episode, the grounding mats, grounding sheets. Ooh, we have some secrets on those. What are your final words for today for the audience before we come back?
Let me just say something about the room.
Okay, love.
There's so many things online that kind of give the wrong idea. So whatever we did is we did a modified Faraday cage.
Okay, there you
We
go.
modify it so no radiation can get trapped in there.
Okay.
And yeah, you said it right. With this medical grade grounding system, which is not just copper, is a device that actually does channel EMFs, not just current.
Okay.
Normally grounding rods and they channel more current.
Okay.
But this one is made for EMFs fields, which if we see the nature of both, they're totally different. And that's what we want. We want to capture with the walls, and whatever we did is we put cobalt, carbon, and graphite in different layers. We connect them in a very unique way.
Yeah.
In order to prevent in order to prevent trapping radiation.
Yeah.
Whatever we want is
Good.
to prevent so much of the radiation to get in there, and the ones that gets in there gets captured
And
every time it touches
grounded.
the wall and send it to the ground.
Which is not like if it were just a Faraday cage, a perfect one, and it were not grounded. Oh,
Exactly.
you get in there and you're just bouncing it all around in your
Exactly.
body. Oh my
Exactly.
God, you're like in a bounce house of EMFs. You're trapped in there when it just can't get out.
Exactly.
And you put a cell phone on in there.
Oh
you
my
just
goodness.
But so basically, you have a technique that I can hardly wait to share. What else is it, love?
The one last thing is that online they say, hey, connect it to the grounding system of the electric system of the house.
Yeah.
Now, that is wrong, and we will talk in detail why
That is
the
so
wrong way to
harmful.
do it.
So harmful. Be careful. You have a lot of things, my dear audience and my dear listeners. There's so many things coming up in our next episode that are really important practical tips.
Whatever we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of all the laws of physics, of biology, of this amazing nature. Trees, they absorb and they block some of the radiation.
I love my forest here.
Yeah. So we're going to use all in our advantage.
Beautiful.
At the end of the day, whatever we want is we want some spaces where humans are not being bombarded by any kind of electromagnetic fields.
Absolutely stunning. I just love you. I can hardly wait
thank
till
you
you
so
come
much.
back. You know, I'm on earth to support those who are called to bring maximum love and light into their lives, liberating self-expression in all realms where all is sacred, and connecting you to create a cosmic web of love and light throughout the realms. And we can certainly do that a lot more easily if we understand the way the cosmic light actually works. And so, closing today, I do want to hear from you, my audience. Leave a comment or shoot me an email by visiting my site at riverroaring.com and clicking Get Started to share your question, reflection, or insight. And in the notes are going to be the website to find Dr. Loredo Ritter. And I'll say right now that the website is emfhometesting.com. EMF Home, H-O-M-E, testing, Testing.com. And it's a great little site. And you have only been introduced to this phenomenal human being we have so much exciting things to talk about beyond even the practicalities. That's just our next show. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me, and hopefully we can just go through the whole thing.
I think so. I'm thrilled to have you here. Have a beautiful day, and thanks again for joining me.
You too. Thanks so much.
All right.